Hey folks, it's the end of August and it's nice and warm out, but even though it's 84 degrees today, we have those days coming where it's going to be a little bit more crisp, lower humidity. Love that. And before too long, it'll be the right weather to wear bibs. Not quite dry suit, somewhere in between summer and when you need protection from full submersion. I like wearing the bibs from NRS. I got a new set here, and what I'm going to show you is sort of a preemptive repair of sorts. So these have the booty foot in them. You reach down in here, and push these out. So these go inside the boot. So your foot goes inside there, and then this goes inside of the boot. I love the NRS work boot, but I will tell you, the toes and the heels are always what can fail after time. It takes a while. They're tough, but the breathable material, especially here at the seams, they've doubled up at the seam at the toe and the heel. That is where they fail with time. And I think some part of what we do with those motorized kayaks, with the feet going back and forth, there's a lot of flexing and rubbing. And I think that our timetable on this is a little bit accelerated compared to most people, to most anglers, or most paddlers, anyone that uses a dry suit, because we just have more rubbing even inside the boot. So when you do have a repair, a need for repair, NRS actually does it. If you want to just ship your dry suit or the bibs back to NRS, they will do it for you. They'll test it, find it, and ship it back to you. Now, if you want to do it yourself, this is the product. It takes like 24 hours to set up. It's flexible, durable, adhesive. It definitely is that. I just read it off the package. Great for leaks in your inflatable kayaks, also great for repairing, and it's not always like a pinpoint leak. It can be just a generalized area where it's kind of weeping in. But don't wait for it to happen especially if you're using a motorized kayak. What I'm going to tell you is preemptive, and I actually got the big bottle of the Aqua Seal to do this. What I'm going to do is turn this inside out. Brand new bibs, never been in the water. I'm going to turn the hose on and fill these from inside out. What that's going to do is to puff these out, all the way, and then I'm going to apply the Aqua Seal at the toe and the heel preemptively. Let's go do it. All right, I got a little bungee here I'm going to need in a second just to hold these up on the kayak rack on the back of the F-150. Totally inside out. And I'm really just filling it up to the point where each of those feet has filled out to give it some shape. It's really all I need to do. I don't need a lot. I just need to get it past up to maybe the ankle. All right, I've done that with one leg. And turn the spray nozzle on the other one. Pull these out. And this just keeps it from, you could apply it to it, but then it would fold back on itself and it would just be not real clean. It would stick to itself. I put a little bit more in this left one. I think it's actually the right because it's inside out. Okay, done with this. And here's what we got. Filled up. We're gonna apply it here and here and here and here. Let's go back to the truck. All right, I'm gonna just flop that over. kind of want to spread these out so they're not touching each other. Let me just spread them left and right on that. And don't want any of this to sort of flop back onto itself. So take this bungee and just secure it. Not going anywhere. There. Okay. Let's take a closer look. All right. Got my big tube aqua seal, and I got my gloves here because I don't know that there's a better way to apply this other than smushing some on your fingers and mashing it around those seams. Also makes for real quick cleanup at the end of this. Alright, so I've already broken seal on that. I'll put the cap there so I don't lose it. And this stuff's already charging out. And I'm really focusing initially on the seam. I might spread out a little bit from there as I go, but you know, think of where it's going to wear. What are the areas that are going to rub? For sure the heel. Let's get the whole heel going. You know, and I'm not so much doing this to stop from pinpoint punctures, because I'm real good about cleaning out my you know, I'll clean the stones if there are any stones that get into my NRS work boots that are over this. I hose them out, make sure there isn't a pebble in there. This is more just to stop the rubbing, you know, the kind of heel rubbing, and you know, that just degrades this great breathable fabric over time, especially with, you know, pumping your heels on the Torpedo foot control steering pedals. Getting the heel a little bit, because that's going to be some wear areas, and it's still got enough breathable material around, you know, the rest of this, so I'm not so worried about it, you know, really being an issue in terms of it losing its breathable quality. So, all right, let's move on to the toe. I'm gonna set that down for a little bit, turn this up. Toes can, and I know from doing this for years, you know, I use these products, you know, the bibs, way more than anyone else. So my wear and tear is accelerated for sure. And I've just found that toes and heels, that's where they start weeping. So the preemptive application of this, I'm hoping, and I've done this after the fact as well, where I have one that's weeping, and it prolongs how long it takes to do it, but you do need to sort of look at this realistically, almost like you look at a pair of tires. The amount of use that you get out of it isn't forever, and the more you drive, the faster you go through your tires, right? You got to replace them. I usually, even as much as I do this, I'll get about 3 seasons out of these before they start weeping a little bit. So a little bit on realistic expectations there with these. All right, let's move on to the second one, and it's kind of the same deal. Going for the seams first. You know, and when I have repaired, you do the same thing, and you look for, you know, on a pair that you know, yeah, I get to the end of the day and my socks are wet, and it's not perspiration, it's actual water. you know, to finally could do the same thing. You fill this with water and you see what areas are getting damp. You know, even with the sun hitting it and evaporating what's there, it's usually primarily the heels, but also the toes. And this is where I've done repairs in the past. All right, that's basically it. I'm gonna let this sit for when I'm done for 24 hours. Let it, you know, let it fully set up, drain all the water out, and I'll know that these are gonna last me more than 3 seasons now. These are gonna last a long time. I don't know how long that is, but for me, I'll tell you, I'm on the water spring and fall probably more than any other seasons, and that's when I'm in these bibs where it's too hot, you know, late in the day to be in a full dry suit, but the water's still dipping down into the 50s sometimes. Start on the toe. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna finish this. Think about preemptively treating heels and toes on your bibs. Same thing on your dry suits, and hopefully that'll give you some extra years on your dry wear. Thanks for watching.